Hi everyone, welcome to my little craft room. I'm just going to do part 2 of the Junk Journal July journal. This is my journal that I'm going to use for the challenge. The challenge has already started. I'm behind quite a lot. So it's the Junk Journal July 2026, Junk Journal July UK 2026, ran by Be Happy Stationery and the Vintage Button. I'm taking part in the challenge, and I've already done part 1 of my junk journal. So this is my junk journal made from an altered book that I got from a charity shop. You can still see the inside of it. So in part 1 you see how I got it to this stage basically. So off camera I have just I printed out a letter J, and then I've done a template for it, and then I'm just doing now 3 J's to go down this section of the front cover is my plan. So I'm just cutting that one out now, so I'll do that. I just need to rub off any pencil marks that I've done for the template, from the template, and then that'll be ready to go. So I'm just cutting that. I didn't show me cutting them all out because it's a bit boring for you. So yeah, so Junk Journal July has already taken place. It's the 4th of July today. I've been to work all week and it's just been a busy week. I just haven't had chance to get started on an actual page yet. So today is tea stain, which I have already been tea staining. I've already just uploaded a video for that, hence my fingernails look yellow because I didn't wear gloves. So if you do it, I'd recommend wearing gloves unless you're not really that bothered like me. But yeah, so it's dyed my nails yellow, which is always a good look. But it has worked. They're dry, so the fabric that I dyed is drying at the moment on the washing line, and the other stuff is just on the floor downstairs on newspaper, just drying off. So it won't all get used in this journal, it'll just be stacked to use as and when I need it really. It's quite handy to have things ready done. So that's my 3 J's, a little template. I'm just going to rub off any of the pencil marks. I finally realised that if I took my phone up so that it's landscape, you get a better fuller screen. I've been doing videos for a while, so I apologise for my previous videos, you won't get so much of a full screen. That's that one. So I'm just going to glue these on. That's the plan. I've just used some scrapbook paper to cut the J's out of. So that's my Junk Journal July. I didn't want it to come out too bright, I think that's just enough. I'm going to just go around the edges with some pink dye, only because I think it just highlights the flowers in the truck, and then there's like pink sort of blossoms and things like that on this fabric, which was a placemat. So I've got 4 placemats in this fabric that I got from a charity shop. It's quite thick. I've got everything off there. So I want to fit them on, just dye them. But I also want to put 2026 on as well, somewhere. I suppose I could put that on the inside, it doesn't have to be on the outside. So I'm just going to go around the edges of the J's with some of the dye, and this one is the Worn Lipstick, and it's the Distress Oxide, that one, which I bought by accident. I thought it was just the Distress ink that I normally get. Let me know if you're joining in Junk Journal July. How are you getting on? Have you started yet? I haven't started yet, really. Well, I'm just about to finish, hopefully, this journal. And then I can actually get started on the pages. I doubt that I'll be doing them in order. Obviously, I'm behind already by 4 days, but I don't think you have to do anything in order or quickly. It can kind of take you all year if you want to. There we go. So I think I'll just get them stuck on before I change my mind, because I'll start overthinking and I have to stop myself from doing that. Hope you can see the full, yes, you can see the full journal. Try not to knock you. So I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac to glue these onto the fabric there. I think that should be, is that about right? That's about right, isn't it? Looks straight. It's a really windy day today, so I've got windows and things opening and the blinds are sort of flapping around, so that's what you can probably hear in the background. Let's have a look. I want it to be straight-ish. Oops, there we go, brushing around as usual. I'm not sure if that's straight, probably that isn't straight, the stitch in there. So I'm just thinking it's coming down, or is it just me? Let me leave. I feel like that's not straight, that one. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's an idea, isn't it? Does that need a little bit more glue now? Yeah, because I've kind of torn it away. That's it. And then I was thinking of having some of this like blossoms going down here. I think it might be that way round, like that. Yep, just do it, do it, do it. I've been umming and ahhing about it all week. I haven't had time to finish it really, so it's nice to get this front cover done. I need to decide on a closure. I think it's just going to be a tie around rather than anything permanent. So we'll trim that up at the end there. About there. So I need to think if there's anything that I need to cover before I put the inside cover on, is there anything that I need to do on the front that needs to be covered by the inside, if that makes sense. So I was thinking about having some of these sort of metal flower buttons going through. They have got quite a big back on them, so I don't think I can just glue them on. Probably could, but so I'm thinking about sewing them on, but I'm not sure if I'll get through this book cover. But I'm going to try if I can find my pokey tool, my awl. Bear with me. Well, that took longer than expected. So I found the awl ready to poke through. I've emptied an entire bag of stuff out thinking it was in there, and it was in here in my caddy thing on my desk the whole time. So anyway, so I'm going to just poke some holes through. Perhaps I'll put something in there so I don't stab the pages. What have we got? The cardboard. So just, oh, it's gone through nice and easy. So it'll be one, maybe two. So that'll go there. Let me just hold that up straight so I can go sort of gauge where the last one's going to go. And then three. Just roughly there. It's on that line, isn't it? About there-ish. So like that. 1, 2, 3. Does it need a fourth? What do you think? Maybe. Should we go with another one? So about there. Oh, that went a bit crazy. Okay, so should just be able to pop those on, shouldn't we? I'll just get some thread together. Okay, so just show you, it did go through. It's worth putting that in, wasn't it? Where are we? There. So poke that through. Get the button on. I just think you could glue these on, but it just gives it a bit of extra security, doesn't it? I'll just make sure that doesn't pull that through. Has that come through? Yes, there we go. Because I'll probably pop a little bit of glue under each one anyway as well. But I just like to sew things on. So what I mean is, before you do your inside cover, make sure there's nothing that you want to hide, like buttons and fixtures and things like that. I'm not going to put anything on the spine or anything that I need to hide on the inside. So it really is just these little button holes that I wanted to hide. So I'll just tie that one off. Get rid of some of that thread. And then I'll rethread that. I'm just using cotton. It's quite thick cotton that I bought by accident thinking it was wax thread. So I'm just using those. I bought a pack of it. I've got glue on my hands and dyed fingernails. But they're all marks of a crafter, I think. Right, go on, that's it. That's through. Put that one on. Bring that through. There. I think because I'm getting older as well, I'm not really that bothered about what people think, so. I've noticed. There we go, let's tie that off. Chop that. And then just do the same. If you're adding little buttons on, that's gone a bit loose actually, hasn't it? Oh, I know why, because I should have done 2 holes. I should have done 2 holes. Okay, what I'll do, I'm just going to glue the back. Should have done 2 holes, shouldn't I, for each button, not 1. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll just glue it. Glue it this side and I'll glue it underneath. Saved by the Fabri-Tac. I mean, everyone knows for a button you've got to have 2 holes, haven't you, really? Let's make sure we don't glue that to that page. So I've got a bit of plastic somewhere actually we can use. Where's it gone? Had it a second ago and I have trashed the place since. I've emptied a bag of stuff out thinking that that's where my thing was, my oar was, and it's not there. It was where it should be the whole time. So yeah, that's gone a bit loose, but I will just pop some glue that side. Some glue there. Once that hardens off, that should be fine, but I'll check beforehand. Yeah, I should have done 2 holes. Let's just grab that and just pop another hole through. This is what I should have done. I may end up just taking them off and doing it again. Let's get that box. What have I done with that now? There. Chaos today. And there. That's why it's coming out. Okay. Let me get on with that. Okay, I'm back. So I've ended up with the 2 that I didn't do the 2 holes for. I've ended up doing 2 holes because I just felt like I knew that it's definitely secure then. So they're all sewn on. Then I've just gone through some scrapbook papers and there's some nice like butterfly. In fact, I don't know about, no, I want to keep this, the front and back page quite plain, and then I don't feel guilty about covering it. And I found this on the back of the scrapbook papers and thought that's quite nice because I've got a lot of dyed papers that I've done that I want to work through the journal, and I want it to be quite arty. This journal, I think, is the way I'm going at the moment with it. So I've measured those out and I'm happy with that, what it's going to cover, but I can go back in with lace and whatever I want to use on the front and back cover then, because I don't, if something's too pretty, although I mean this is nice, if it's a bit too pretty I feel guilty about covering it, although you can do other things with it. So I think I'm going to go, trying to think what dye, what should I dye? Should I dye the edges? Maybe blue for this one. Just go around the edge of this one with some dye, some ink, sorry. Got dye on the brain. I'm just going to roughly ink the edges just to give it a bit of lift. I have just adjusted the camera as well. I think you were really way zoomed in before, so I've zoomed you out a little bit. So let's get that glued on. Wow, it's doing that thing where it explodes again. Let's get that off my finger. There we go. And then I think what I can do then, I'd like to make a pocket at the front to put all of the Junk Journal July information in. And I might stick the prompts at the front here, or put a pocket maybe, just so I don't keep losing them, because I will. Albeit you can just keep going back on to Be Happy Stationery, and if you've already downloaded it, you can just print it off again, or you can see it on there. But it's handy for me to have at hand. So I could either go and stick that to it, or I could fold it, or I could put it in a pocket, couldn't I? So we'll think about that. I'm just going to do the back cover, the inside cover. Probably go with a bit of pink for that one. I'm not sticking to any particular colour throughout the journal, ink wise, and some things I might not ink, but I just thought I'll add a bit of colour to the... I haven't inked any of the pages, so I can decide whether to as I go through or leave it as it is. Or some of the pages might be covered completely anyway, that's why I haven't really gone through and done that. So that can go in there. Just weigh that down a minute. I've got a lot of thick papers in this one because I was using up quite a lot of cardstock that I've had hanging around for a while, that I just haven't used for one reason or another, and I thought, well, this is ideal to just use up. In my journal. So when you're covering your front and back cover, just make sure that it still opens and closes without puckering that up before you glue it down, because I've done that a few times now. It's a bit of an uneven surface because this is quite thick, so it's all a bit bumpy, but I probably should have backed the papers with some card, but because this is just for my use, it's okay. I'm happy with that. So that's the front and back inside cover complete. We've done the front cover, although I might add some bits and pieces as we go along, but I'm happy that I've added anything that needs to be covered. Closure wise, I'm just going to use some tie. I might even use a bit more of that maybe, but that's a long way off yet. So next I'm going to do a pocket inside here, so bear with me. Okay, so I've just gathered some bits and pieces from the craft room to try and make up my front page. So this isn't one of the prompts from the challenge. This is just me decorating the front of the journal. Now, if you're doing the challenge and you want the front of your journal to be your first prompt or one of your prompts, then you go for it, because it really is your thing. It's what you want to do. I'm not cutting this circle out very well. I just want to incorporate circles into this diary, this journal for some reason. I'm not sure why I want to. It just seems to be what I want to do. So what I've done is, out of the when you download the Junk Journal July Challenge guide, it comes in different pages, and you can just sort of cut into the pages if you want to. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been cutting out sections of the pages. That's a bit of scrapbook paper with the butterflies on. And I thought if I leave this open as like a tuck spot, I can put the prompts in there, and then I know that they should always be at the front of the journal. So I've just gathered some bits and pieces with this sort of colour. I want to keep the edge of this paper so we can still see some of it. I might just bring that down a little bit. And then I've drawn round the lid of one of my little pots to make a circle, because I want to have circles in this, as I've said numerous times now. So I'm just going to add some blue ink here and there to things, just so it's in keeping with what I've done on the front cover. I'm not sure if I've gone for blue because of this main page there, maybe, I don't know. That'll probably end up getting covered over anyway. I've just found this shopping list sort of paper, and I just thought I'd do a circle in that, because why not? And then I can sort of jot little things on there if I wanted to. I'll just go around the top as well, just so it's all ties into that front page then. That's it. Where's the lid gone? There, it's right in front of me. So let's just place some bits and bobs down and just see. So if I put in the butterfly paper, then we want the title in. I mean, it could go down the side, it doesn't have to go at the top, but I think I'd like it at the top. And then I wanted to kind of put that in sort of there. And then that to go on the bottom to be a tuck spot, so that wouldn't be glued all the way round. And then I wanted to incorporate some more circles. I've lost my circle. I've got this little circle punch, so I'm just going to grab some more of that scrapbook paper, which I've now lost. How can I lose a 12 by 12 pad? How I lost that, I don't know. But anyway, I found it. I think I got this one from the range. Yeah. So it's just a butterfly, mainly butterflies, but then it had the sort of dye, it looks like dyed paper. So I'm just going to get, oh, I've got some of it here actually after all that. There we are. So I've got some of that. So if I just take some sections of this, just make some punches. So I've got 3 of those, and I've got, I might just do a bit of music, I was going to say magic paper for a second then, music paper. So I will need to just tear down, otherwise I won't get any of the notes in. So I'm just grabbing from scraps behind me now, after all that, looking for that pad. I just want to add some of these circles in. To this little collage-y page. Let's go back in with a bit of blue. And then I'm just going to sort of scatter these around, I think. Yeah, just liking circles at the moment. Circles and dots. the most interesting one, but it's different. It's unique. I might just do a couple out of that as well, just to incorporate that back in the little lines. Well, that's not quite out very well. It's not very thick paper. Let's get that out. That's it. Oh, it's quite nice that it's a bit scruffy, isn't it? Right. So let's get the butterfly paper placed and glued in. Otherwise I'll never make a decision. Let's get that glued down. That on there. I'll put the title on. A bit more glue. I'll try and keep it roughly within the back page because we don't want it getting bent. That should be okay there. Just concerned about that butterfly over time, but should be alright. Just make sure it's stuck down well. But these things are meant to be used, so if it gets a bit scruffy, it's okay. I did want that to go under there a little bit, didn't I? Get the circle on. It can go sort of sidewaysy. And put a bit of glue back under. And then I'll put the pocket on, a little corner tuck here, ready to keep the prompt safe for me. I've just done this on copy paper, but you can print it out onto card if you want to, or back it with card if you want to. So that's that. Make sure I haven't glued anywhere I shouldn't have. And then I'm thinking I just kind of want some dots around. Do I want a bit of lace or something like a trim? I quite like that. Maybe that can go there. So if I just put these around different places, glue, let's go for it. Maybe go a bit of there. Try not to seal up that pocket now as well. That's glued, isn't it? Yeah, I nearly picked it back up again. kind of want to put two together. I think I'll put another one there. I might switch that for the music sheet. Put that kind of there with that one. And then put those two together. And then I can always cover more bits and pieces anyway, so I'm going to put that tassel-y ribbon down. Just checking you're in shot there. So I'll bring that all the way down this section. Right, like that. It's a bit different, isn't it? I like that. And I think the colours go quite nicely. Well, I think they do anyway. And then we'll trim that up. That's attached to me. I'm just going to trim that bit a bit further. That's it. Straighten that up a bit. Right, how's that looking? A little bit chaotic, but that's okay. I think that's a different front cover, isn't it? Something different. So if I find my prompts, wherever I've put them, see what I mean about losing things. This it? Yeah, it's right in front of me. So I'm going to fold that in half. And then pop that in the pocket so I know where it is. So today is tea stain. I've literally haven't done any of them. So, but I have done the tea stained items ready to do this page. And I've also got ideas, and I've prepped some bits and pieces for the others as well. So my next video is going to be relaxed. I probably won't use that page because I want to do a double page spread. So anyway, that is my journal for Junk Journal July, all ready to go. And that is the end of part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, please tune into it, have a look, see what you think. Any comments of what you would have done or what you think, sorry I keep knocking the camera, let me know. And thank you so much for watching my videos, I really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, feel free to comment, and I'll get back to you. Take care.